Morning, we're in the Scottish Southern Uplands where we've just parked in the Grey Mares Tail Car Park off the A708 near Moffat. We're just heading up Tailburn where eventually we're going to hit Loch Skeen and then head up onto White Coomb. First we're going to pass the Grey Mares Tail waterfall, which is just here. There's quite a lot of water in it at the moment, we've had plenty of rain. So the path just runs up the side of the Grey Mares Tail, straight up there, traverses up to where that sunlight is, and then you head into Tailburn and eventually to Loch Skeen. We're almost at the top of the main waterfall now, the Grey Mares Tail. The path's eased up a bit, it's not as steep. We're going to pass a series of smaller waterfalls and then Loch Skeen. Don't be tempted to go too close to the edge of the main waterfall. It's a 60-metre drop and there has been one or two fatalities over the years. Above the main waterfall you'll find a couple of smaller falls. We're just passing them now, just heading into Tailburn. To the left of me across the burn is Upper Tarnberry, and the path coming down from it will be our descent path later where we'll ford the burn. Bear in mind, if there's lots of heavy rain the burn can get quite deep, but further up towards Loch Skeen the burn narrows to like a grassy bank on both sides and you can kind of cross it. Even when there's a lot of water in it, I've always managed to get over it. The path runs along the side of the burn all the way to Loch Skeen, which I think we should start getting a view of once we get around this corner. Not quite yet, but we're getting there. Maybe around this corner then. We must be getting close now. There you go. Loch Skeen. Absolutely beautiful. The big mountain at the head of Loch Skeen is Lochcraig Head. Our first hill of the day. We'll go up the path alongside that wall and then onto that shoulder of the mountain and then up onto the summit, where we'll then head for White Coomb. The path turns away from the loch to your right, where we're going to head through the heather up to that fence, follow that fence, and then eventually get to that wall I said, where we're going to head up the hill. There's a couple of flat boggy sections along the side of the fence that you will have to negotiate. Just follow Billy. And these little stones that's been placed here. Go on, Billy lad. We're almost up at the top of the wall. It's a seriously warm day. It's only 9:30 in the morning. Must be about 25 degrees I would say. No wind at all now. We're back to the hot weather. I've got a litre of water in my bag. If we don't find any water up here, Billy will get it all. I've got some fizzy pop and I've got some coffee, so that'll do me. I'll make sure Billy gets the water. We're almost on the summit plateau now, where I think there's a fence. We're going to do a short out and back over there to the summit, and then we'll come back and get a bit closer to the edge and get some views of the loch. Turn right at this fence. The summit's about 500 yards to our right. The very insignificant summit of Lochcraig Head 801 metres. It's a big Donald and it's a hump. And there's the summit, marked by just a few little rocks. The big cairn on the edge of the mountain above Loch Skeen isn't the summit, so don't be mistaken in thinking that's it. You've got to walk along the fence and find it. No drink. Found a little pearl. Nice billy, eh? That's a nice lad. We'll head back over to the wall and continue our walk. The big mountain in front of me across the way is White Coomb. That's going to be our highest point today. We've got a few smaller summits to cross before we get there. Back on the path and following the wall along to Firthope Rig Head, our next hill. Typical southern uplands, a few ups and downs on the walk. Once we get up onto Firthope Rig Head, there won't be too many more. It's more or less flat, or flat-ish, all the way to White Coomb from there. When you reach the corner of the wall, cross over. If you want to bag the summit of Firthope Rig Head, I think it's on the other side of the wall, just about there. It's a deleted Donald top, so it doesn't have much of a classification. Firthope Rig Head, 766 metres. It's a deleted Donald top, and that bend in the fence is the summit. Follow along the wall and the fence in the direction of White Coomb. I think we've got one more hill to bag first before White Coomb. The corner of this fence is Firthope Rig. It's a Donald top, 800 metres, and it's got a little cairn over here, look. Our big Donald of the day is just up there in front of us. White Coomb, 821 metres. It's only 21 metres higher than where we are now. If you like solitude, peace, quiet, these are the hills to be on. I love it up here. I've been coming here for years. You very rarely ever see anyone. Maybe my mate Robert from Moffat Mountain Adventures. He has a YouTube channel, features all of these hills, many more up in the Highlands, and he even gets down into the Lake District. Hopefully we'll meet up one day, Robert, and have a walk together. Over there in the distance is Saddle York, and the hills behind Saddle York, the Hartfell Ridges. I've got a walk on YouTube featuring them hills from last winter. White Coomb summit, and it's got a handful of classifications. Firstly, it's a Corbett. There's not too many Corbetts in southern Scotland. It's also a Donald, a Madeline, and an historic county top. And there's the Rockstar, chilled out, enjoying that little breeze. A nice billy. From White Coomb summit, we're going to head down the ridge of Rough Craigs, then back over the Tail Burn, and then back down the Grey Mare's Tail. Follow this wall all the way down the ridge and it'll drop you back down into the burn. The path runs steeply down the ridge of Rough Craigs and drops over the summit of Upper Tarnberry, which is just down there where that forest is. We go over the top of there, and then from there it'll drop us into the burn that we started in earlier this morning. Just heading over the summit of Upper Tarnberry now, 552 metres. That's Rough Craig behind me that we've just came down, so we've dropped almost 300 metres from the summit of White Coomb. Tail burn below me, where I'm sure Billy can smell the lovely fresh clean water of that burn. Can be desperate to get in it. He's certainly picked his pace up. Is that nice, lad? Is that good? Is that good? Cross the burn wherever you feel safe. I'm going to cross about here, but just be careful because there is a waterfall just beyond that point. So if it was running hard, you'd probably be better off heading further up there and crossing it where the grass is, where it's a lot easier. You'll find a place. So that's us almost back down the Grey Mare's tail, and it's absolutely baking hot here. I'm going to wrap my video up now because we've only got about a quarter of a mile to go to the car park. The walk in total was about 8 miles. Absolutely fantastic day. The summits were quite cool on the high fells, a nice cool breeze, but it's absolutely savagely hot down here. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you like my content, please think about giving me a subscribe. So it's bye from me, and it's bye from the rock star who is tailing it down this path to get back in that burn down there.